Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. This is a live pro wrestling show for the SmackDown Ring Report and AEW Rampage. We got a lot to talk about as Seth Rollins puts himself into a tizzy after him and the Usos. He came to SmackDown Valley to get revenge on the Usos as the Usos cost him a match against Big E, against big against Lashley, and Seth Rollins was one of the answers. Seth Rollins added a stipulation to the Royal Rumble that might be telling for him and Roman Reigns going forward. We'll talk about that later on. Plus, two, jackass star Johnny Knoxville gets the best of Sami Zayn in his own little jackass theme, little setting, and you can tell Sami Zayn was a kind of a little bit on the fall guy for that. Also, too, Sonya Deville continues to play mind games with Naomi by being a special guest referee in the match. We'll talk about that against Charlotte, as well as a lot of other. Even Natalia saw an old friend that she thought she got rid of. This old friend keeps coming back, some raid returning and stuff. We'll talk about that. Plus, in the AEW Ring Report for the Rampage side, Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley, you see right there, returning from coming back since being sober and heartfelt sobriety message that was emotional. And then we'll get to the latest too on what wrestling pundit said that was a little bit offensive about Moxley, as well as the sensation Hook, the handsome, what I want to say, the lethal sensation Hook was in action. Hook was in action, as well as the goddess, I call it the goddess, Jade Garhill, the new TBS champion, was defending her championship against Anna Jay. All of this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, Miss Karen. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We got a lot to get to with SmackDown and Rampage from last night, and plus a dose of hot topics as well. So we kick things off with the bloodline. Roman Reigns, his cousins, introduced Roman as Roman had celebrated a huge milestone in the bloodline. Roman Reigns, now the longest reigning WWE Universal Champion in history, and plus being the longest reigning WWE World Champion in the modern era. Roman Reigns, his reign went from 405 to now 408. Roman Reigns surpassing and is still counting as we speak. Roman Reigns could be breaking records that many people won't see coming. Roman doing a dominant reign. But Roman Reigns, as you see right here, the Usos introducing Roman Reigns. It's kind of weird that Paul Heyman's not introducing, but hey, it's kind of different, but you can tell the stuff. But the Usos, the tag team champions, introducing their cousin, Roman Reigns, and talked about his achievements in the ring. And as you see right here, Roman Reigns came out there with a standing boo ovation. Some liked him, some didn't. Roman Reigns standing the test of time, being the one to I guess being the longest reigning world champion. Even this meme right here, this some fan WWE wrote tweeted that Roman is a GOAT. And I guess this lady put her legs out saying she probably will give Roman Reigns some. I know he would like to take some, but no, he's married. But I don't know what his wife agrees or not. That is the question. So we won't know. Well, Roman Reigns got an ultimatum that from Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins came out there from Raw. You can tell WWE is a little desperate. They getting folks from Raw to challenge Roman Reigns when they already had in place Jeff Hardy and Drew McIntyre, but they both are out of commission. But Drew Zaya Commission. He was originally supposed to fight Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble. That's not going to happen. That's not going to be the case. So we know that Roman Reigns will defend the Universal Championship against his former Shield mate, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins added an interesting caveat to the match to say that if he beats Roman Reigns, the Usos cannot come and help embed him at Royal Rumble. Well, we know that we know that was going on, and Roman saying that vice versa, if Steph loses, he don't get a title match. Roman walks skate free going to WrestleMania without worrying about Seth Rollins. Well, the challenge was accepted, and later on, we'll tell you what had happened later in the show. Also, too, Kofi Kingston taking on Madcap Moss with Happy Corbin in his corner. Kofi King, Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin with their jokes. They got Madcap Moss wearing like he's a 3-year-old wearing a 3-year-old suit in a big body. That's crazy. But that's crazy. Kofi took on Madcap Moss. So you see Madcap Moss with that amateur background style with that spine buster takedown. But who came out of nowhere? Big E, the former WWE champion. Big E came out of nowhere, delivered the big ending to Madcap Moss. Big E sending a message that him and Kofi will both be in the Royal Rumble. I think it's just for happenstance for the minute. But you can tell right here, Kofi Kingston and Big E reunited. King Woods out of commission. King Woods would have been out there too. But the New Day's back. The two former WWE champions, Kofi and Big E, got something in common. They lost to Brock Lesnar. Both their world title reigns ended by Brock Lesnar. But they got a chance of a lifetime to compete in the Royal Rumble match. As you see right here, the Royal Rumble comes your way next Saturday on Peacock or pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. WWE like to call it a premium live event, which is nuts, but hey, it is what it is. But Kofi Kingston in the Royal Rumble, Big E in the Royal Rumble, Happy Corbin in the Rumble, Madcap Moss in the Rumble. We'll tell you more Rumble fixings, as well as we know that Aaliyah got the upset victory last week when she pinned Natalya. Aaliyah done the impossible, pinning Natalya with a new WWE record, the fastest record in WWE history, 3.12 seconds. Aaliyah done that, pinning Natalya, who's a veteran, who's been in the Guinness Book of World Records, and been with the winningest person who won in the WWE. Natalya went against Aaliyah, trying to get her revenge, get a measure of revenge. As you see right here, Aaliyah trying to back away. But Natalya looking like, I want my revenge. Natalya tried to go after Aaliyah in the early goings in the match. Aaliyah tried to counter right here. You see right here, Natalya and Aaliyah collided. Natalya trying to punch Aaliyah by using the backbreaker. And then Natalya tried to take out Aaliyah and try to put the finishing touches. But out of nowhere, Xia Li came out there to help and rescue Aaliyah. Aaliyah getting the help of Xia Li. Xia Li coming out of nowhere. You can tell Xia Li might be a part of the Royal Rumble to get her hands on Natalya. Natalya about watch out, because I tell you right, Natalya got enemies already in place. She had enemies, them two. And then she had Summer Rae, who they call WWE legend. Summer Rae had her eyes drawn on Natalya too. So you can tell Natalya has her work done in the Women's Rumble, keeping her eye out for Aaliyah and Xia Li and Summer Rae. I mean, Summer Rae coming for a vengeance. And I mean, she's coming for a vengeance. Summer Rae did say that on the WWE.com exclusive that she's here to welcome people and be nice, and not other folks like Natalya. So we'll see going forward. Also, too, SmackDown's newest sensational tag team, Los Lotharios. I think one day they'll be the SmackDown tag team champions or the Raw tag team champions going forward. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo took on the current #1 contenders for the tag team titles, the Royal Raiders, in a match that, would have put strength against speed. The Los Guerreros with speed, but the at the end, the War Raiders, they'll join the raid. They won. They won over Los Lotharios, setting up for them, getting them momentum, heading into their tag team match against the Usos down the road. We'll see that. Speaking of championship matches, there was a number one contenders matches. SmackDown champion Charlotte Flair. She went against Naomi, but this was a non-title match. At first, we thought that Charlotte and Naomi was going to get it on, but Sonya Deville came out of nowhere and told Charles Robinson to take off his shirt and that he wouldn't be needed for this championship match. Well, it was a non-title championship match. My apologies, but Naomi wanting to get her hands on Sonya Deville, and Naomi also wants to get her real crack at the SmackDown Women's title as well, get an opportunity. And she had an opportunity while she had to wrestle Charlotte and be aware of Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville cheated, helping Charlotte, but using tactics that she wasn't aware of, trying to help Charlotte. But at the end, Charlotte used the figure eight to make Naomi tap out. And you can tell right there, Sonya Deville making taunting what's her Naomi and stuff. We learned that Eric Bischoff, who came out of nowhere, came out of nowhere, and he talked to what's his name and told him, hey, you need to try to do something about it with your leadership skills. And that's what he did. He did some of his leadership skills, and he had the match is being made. Now it's going to be Sonya Deville versus Naomi one-on-one. So we'll see that one heading forward in that match. Plus two, Jackass in effect. We know that Sami Zayn is keep on taunting Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville came out there. He's an expert about parkour stuff, or we want to say jackass stuff. Johnny Knoxville wanted to come out there and see for himself how it works. Knoxville came out there trying to see and stuff. Sami Zayn didn't want to give in. Knoxville took it out of his hands and shocked him, leaving Sami Zayn a little bit defenseless. And Johnny Knoxville did the same thing he did last week. He eliminated Sami Zayn over the top rope. And could this be an omen coming up at the Royal Rumble? Sami Zayn being eliminated by Johnny Knoxville. And Johnny Knoxville could be perhaps going to WrestleMania to meet the champion of his choice. I guess the Universal Champion. I don't think so. I don't think. But he was funny. So, stuff like that. Also, too, Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior, was in action, along with his protege, Rich Holland, at ringside. Sheamus took on Ricochet once again in another rematch. I'm tired of these WWE rematches, but, WWE got the nerve to do these rematches as much as they want to do it. But, hey, who am I to judge? Sheamus went after Ricochet with the bows right there. Sheamus, a former Royal Rumble winner. He knows a thing or two about winning Royal Rumble matches and Battle Royals. He won the Royal Rumble 10 years ago. So Sheamus knows a thing or two. Sheamus used the Brogue Kick right there to get the win over Ricochet. Sheamus dominant over Ricochet going forward. And Sheamus, could he do a two-peat, winning the Royal Rumble and head out in WrestleMania? Only time will tell on that. Also, too, was the main event. The main event was Seth Rollins teaming up with Kevin Owens to take on the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. The Usos trying to get the upper hand. And Seth Rollins, is they pulling for him being a babyface? Who knows? But Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens did the impossible, taking it to the limit to the SmackDown Tag Team Champion. And they took to the limit. You see Kevin Owens doing that flying senton, taking it to the limit. But out of nowhere, Seth's opponent, the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, came out of nowhere and Superman punch Seth Rollins, leaving Seth Rollins out, lead to a no contest. See, that's one thing I hate about WWE. They kind of just do a no contest, and it's like, well, you got to figure it out for yourself and see how it all played out. but like I said, we'll see. But Seth Rollins didn't end up winning. Roman Reigns nor his team didn't end up winning. It was just I feel like it was a hoax in me. Like, but pull and go, tuck and go. Like, pull you in, and we ain't gonna really reveal the secrets. So Seth Rollins and Roman, especially Seth in his early program with Roman, talked about how him and John Moxley had helped prop Roman Reigns, helped cover him as a shield in the Shield. So we'll see going forward between these two battling for the Universal Championship at Royal Rumble next Saturday. And also, too, was another Easter egg. Jeff Jarrett made a special appearance. Jeff Jarrett, we'll tell you later, he'll be going against Elfie at the GCW event this tomorrow night. He made a rare appearance with Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura. So that ends your SmackDown ring report. Let's move forward. Let's move forward to the AEW Rampage ring report. On the AEW Rampage ring report, we kicked off what we talked about. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins' former teammate, Shield brethren, John Moxley, was in action. He took on Ethan Page. Moxley beat Page with the DDT. Page didn't have a chance. We just don't know. John Moxley looking in good shape, good condition. He looks healthy like he did. Like they showed a picture of how he looked and how he didn't look. John Moxley improving. But John Moxley had got a little bit of hate as well as Bully Ray from Busted Open. Bully Ray had said that he want Moxley to apologize to fans, but Moxley's wife came to his defense, and she said that it was a bad look for Bully Ray to say that, and this is the tweet she wrote. And Paige also tweeted too. There's a reason why everyone preferred Devon. What an awful thing to say. And it was an awful thing. I mean, Bully Ray, to me, I like Bully Ray, like his personality, but when it comes to like, if the man trying to get himself help and he admit he needs help, let him get the help he needs. It's not like I'd rather him get help and stuff rather than just, in wrestling, you be like a premature death. And he got a lot to live for because he just got a family. He got a little girl. So Bully Ray, with those insensitive comments, that was wrong by him. And I hope on his radio show on Busted Open that he around this weekend he will find it in his heart to apologize to Moxley and what he said, because that's not right. We don't know what people go through and every day, because it's a hard struggle for people to try to fight sobriety, and we don't know. When people try to fight addiction, fighting stuff that we don't know, and who are we to judge when we're human as well? We make mistakes. So I kudos to Moxley for just admitting that hey, he admitted he had a problem and he wanted to get help, and look at the results. He's coming back to his own. So good for him. We just hope Bully Ray gets the memo. Speaking of, like I said, Moxley won his match and stuff. Plus too, Hook, the sensation Hook was in action. Hook was in action against Superior. This is Hook's tail of the tape. This is the tail of the tape. Hook just dominated. Hook just went after all of them, and he just went crazy. And he went against Superior, 19 veteran. He beat him up with ease. So Hook having a new enemy with QT Marshall. Look for that feud, him and Hook. That'll be Hook first major feud. Also too, Trent Barbera and Rocky Romero, the Roppongi Vice, took on the Young Bucks in the match. And the Young Bucks won with the help of Brandon Cutler and all them over Roppongi Vice. So like I said, this is This is the matches that Rampage they it's more action packed and more in there in your face. And finally, the TNT, the TBS championship, Jay Cargill, the super specimen of woman she is, a stallion, went against Anna Jay, and you can tell right here the tail of the tape, holds the longest winning active streak over Thunder Rosa. And this is Anna Jay, but Jay won, Ruby, no, not Jay, but Carhill won. Jay Carhill won over Anna Jay in the match. So that ends your AEW Rampage Ring Report. Let's move forward quickly to Hot Topics. On Hot Topics this week, as you see right here, Mustafa Ali, earlier this week, announced that he wanted his release from WWE. As there was reports that Mustafa Ali wanted to, he didn't want to do something Mr. McMahon proposed for him doing, and they had a heated argument. And, Mr. McMahon felt like Mustafa Ali is going to stay until he wants to get rid of him. But you know how WWE is with these contracts and stuff, these releases. They'll get rid of him quicker. He'll get his release. He'll get it. It's just they ain't gonna do it right now, and that's unfortunate. But that's how it be with that stuff. Mustafa Ali playing some representation depiction of the Batman with the Joker burning everything down. I don't know if he talking about WWE burning it down. I don't know, but only time will tell on that. Also, too, Big Britt Baker, the AEW Women's Champion, appeared on the Nick Cannon show. Look for that on Nick Cannon on his YouTube channel with his show. Britt Baker, he had a little segment called Sneaky Freaky. I mean, he need to call that a new segment because that when people think Sneaky Freaky, they think about getting down like sex or something like that. But she revealed what she do today as a dentist, and then at night she's a wrestler. So, and on top of that, she's the AEW Women's Champion. So she's a world champion. Nick Cannon act like he didn't know and stuff. What she done. I'm like, do you watch AEW? What do you watch, Nick Cannon? Because you kind of weird yourself. So there's a lot. But Nick Cannon getting the lockjaw from Dr. Britt Baker. And speaking of Dr. Britt Baker, she took this photo too to remember Meatloaf, who just recently passed away. So our thoughts and condolences goes to Meatloaf, the rocker, who was in the Rock and Horror Picture Show and did some song. I'll do anything for that. She took the picture with Meatloaf, showing Meatloaf. I guess Meatloaf holding the AEW Women's title over his shoulder. So kudos to Britt Baker for showing that, and rest in peace, Meatloaf. Also, too, in news, you can tell right here, Gunner Shark, that he used to be Walter. WWE's outraged. The fans are outraged that WWE changed his name from Walter to Gunner, and it led people to have a backlash about it really was a gunner that had the Nazi symbolism political party tied to him. And WWE didn't really do their research and didn't know that the actual name is from a Nazi. I mean, it's just weird and crazy, but maybe WWE will address it on NXT this Tuesday. Plus, too, speaking of NXT, you can see right here, they said his eternal WWE is said to be disappointed with NXT 2.0 in its first 4 months. Sources say they thought more fans would gravitate towards newer stars quicker than they have, or could it just be too much too fast? Either way, I don't expect no changes except yet. What they went wrong was why would you let people like Adam Cole or Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, people that you already had, Karrion Kross and all of them, and Keith Lee and all of them go, and they're gonna go other places, but you have it's Triple H. Triple H had a systematic way to do it. He had Regal and Samoa Joe, and they just WWE wanted to kick all of them out, but it's gonna bite WWE in their butt for doing that. They might have to rehire all of them back, and then it's like funny if Samoa Joe. What if he gets rehired again? How the feeling would be for Joe. Be like, do I even want to waste my waste my time with this company? Joe, just sign with him and just deal on with Triple H. If the only person who got to fire you has got to be Triple H. Nobody else can't fire you but Triple H. Because Triple H wanted him back in the beginning because Triple H felt like that was wrong for them to get rid of him. So look for that. Coming forward. Also, too, a huge spoiler on the announcement. You will not want to hear it. Matt Cardona, they say won the Impact Digital Media Championship, which is sort of like akin to his own championship, the Internet title. When Matt Cardona bring that back, and he also turned heel. So I don't know what's going on in Impact, but things ain't making sense. But it makes sense for the championship because he had an Internet championship, but it was unsanctioned. So stuff like that. We'll see going forward with that. Also, too, AEW is expected to release people from their contracts as well, not re-signing. We just found out from Leo Rush, who just got into AEW this past October. It's crazy. He's saying that on Valentine's Day, his contract with AEW will expire and he will become a free agent and look for all bookings and inquiries. Leo Rush, when he was with Lashley, he was good as a mouthpiece, but maybe he just didn't found his niche in AEW and stuff like that. Also, too, who has not been on AEW TV in a while, Brian Cage. So they're saying they're expecting Cage and 30 days to 60-day Cage, George Janela, all getting their contracts not renewed. A person like Cage, you don't want Cage. Now, I can see Impact taking him back because he was a world champion, and if that's one person, if I had a promotion or stuff, if I even brought Impact Wrestling, maybe one day, I would want Cage on my roster because Cage could be like the next. He's like the Goldberg in a way, the Wolverine. Cage did have some decent matches against Moxley and all of them in AEW, but once he got kicked out of Team Taz, that was it. That was never the same for him, for Cage. Hopefully Cage go back to Impact Wrestling, or I might be shocked and surprised he might go in with WWE, but you never know with WWE. They might just do him dirty. Cage smart, but he's smart. He ain't gonna let them do them dirty. So I can see that. Plus, too, the living legend Terry Funk and Mick Foley, the hardcore legends, had lunch together, and they said took a road trip to Amarillo to visit Terry Funk to talk about the old days, enjoy great barbecue. 28 years has passed them before the two photos, but the Terry Funk still is my idol, my mentor. Terry Funk, the old fucker in the ring, and Terry Funk, middle-aged crazy, who led a revolution in ECW stuff. So Terry Funk with that. Let's see. Also, we know that Trish Stratus posted a picture right here. If she's coming into the Royal Rumble, only time will tell. I think so. Trish Stratus, who was in the first Women's Royal Rumble, could make up another appearance coming up forward, as well as Roger Strong and LA Knight, known as Eli Drake, made their appearances wrestling the Dark Show. So could we be seeing them in the main roster sooner rather than later? Only time will tell on that going forward. All right. That's it for the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm gonna leave you with this image right here. Not Eli Drake, but this image right here of Roman Reigns, Superman punching Seth Rollins. So look for the Pro Wrestling Show this coming up this week on Monday and throughout, and also too we'll have the Royal Rumble predict the outcome show next weekend. No SmackDown Ring Report. No Rampage neither, but we'll have Royal Rumble getting you ready for the Royal Rumble with predicted outcome special. So me being Kendrick Dick saying so long. We'll see you next time for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.